Laura and the Big Bad Bully. It was a 5 o'clock Saturday morning at Lake Melon. Rain pattered down on their log cabin mansion. Their bedroom fire crackled and flickered, little embers flying off like butterflies. Outside, the fog was a mysterious grey. In their cosy bed, Laura and Caramel were sleeping. Laura tossed and turned and shaking her head. She was having a nightmare. Their pet cockatiel Cookie sleeping over on the perch next to their bed, her head tucked under her wing. "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" screamed a rooster. "Ah!" screamed Laura as she bolted right up, sweat beading across her forehead. Caramel opened her eyes looking dazed at the alarmed Laura. "Are you okay?" asked Caramel. "I just had a nightmare," replied Laura. "You didn't want to be my friend anymore and you left me." "I would never do that, Laura," replied Caramel. "You're my best friend." "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" screamed the rooster who crowed earlier. "Tim's crowing again," said Laura unimpressed. "What time is it this time?" 5 a.m. "Let's go down and tell him to quiet down a bit, shall we?" said Caramel, "or we'll never be able to get back to sleep again." Laura and Caramel stumbled down the stairs. They squelched through the mud to the back of their fence. Just then, something brown whizzed through the air. Before Laura could duck, the brown thing that was mud hit Laura squarely in the face. "Ew!" said Laura, trying her best to scrape off the mud. Then another ball of mud whizzed through the air and this time hit Caramel's pajamas. A few more balls of mud joined the air and rained down onto the poor chickens. "Stop it, Tim and Tam!" screamed Caramel. Then a ball of mud hit into Caramel's face. A rooster with brown feathers and brown hair rose from behind the fence, followed by a hen with white feathers and crystal blue eyes and wavy blonde hair. "Well, hello, Laura and Caramel," said Tim slyly. "You should really get some new pajamas. They look a little bit dirty," joined in Tamara. "We came to tell you to be quiet," said Laura. "I can do whatever I want," sneered Tamara. "You can't stop me." Tim scooped up some more mud and threw it in Caramel's face before they walked off. "Let's get changed," said Caramel, wiping off the mud the best she could. They walked upstairs to get changed. Laura opened her closet and put on her favourite red dress, while Caramel put on her favourite white dress. They washed their face with rose-smelling soap before heading down to breakfast. Caramel went to the fridge and pulled out some eggs, bacon, mushrooms and bread. Laura chopped up the mushrooms and got a pan on the ring before cracking 2 eggs and frying the bacon. "Can you get some toast on?" said Laura. "Sure," she replied before putting some down in the toaster. After the food was cooked, they put it on some nice white plates and went outside to enjoy it. The 2 chickens stared out in the rainy, foggy sky, listening to the patters on the tin roof, while amazing flavours filled their mouths. "Can we go to the pool?" asked Laura, breaking the silence. "It's a little bit wet and foggy to go swimming," replied Caramel. "I suppose we're going to get wet anyway." "I'll go and pack some marshmallows," said Laura, hurrying off. Caramel packed their swimming bag. The water park they were going to had very big slides, very twisty, and one slide even had the loop-de-loop. There were giant diving boards from very high places and monkey bars across the pool. It took 30 minutes to get there. Luckily, because it wasn't storming, the water park was still open. "Wow!" said Laura. Firstly, they went on a slide on a floaty. The slide went into darkness. "Wow!" said Laura. "That was a little bit scary." "Yeah, I agree," said Caramel. "Can I go on the loop-de-loop slide?" asked Laura. "Okay," replied Caramel. Laura walked up a few stairs before saying, "Are you coming or what?" "I'll just wait at the bottom. It's a little bit scary for me," she replied. Laura continued to walk up the stairs. When she got to the top, she sat down, ready to go. She pushed herself off and she went whizzing down the slide. Just as the loop-de-loop was about to come, she hit something. She looked what she hit that stopped her from going around the loop. She gasped in horror. "Fancy seeing you here," said Tamara. "Yeah," replied Tim. Laura panicked and desperately tried to climb up the slide again, but the water kept rushing down, making it slippery to climb. "What are you doing here?" said Laura. "We're waiting for a chicken to come down here so we can keep him there for as long as we want," laughed Tamara. "Bullying and calling chickens names are not fun," said Laura, still desperately trying to climb back up. Meanwhile, Caramel was waiting for Laura to come down. "Where is she?" muttered Caramel. "Maybe something's wrong. Luckily she told me where she was going, on the loop-de-loop." Caramel made her way up to the start of the stairs and began her climb. "You're not going anywhere," said Tim, grabbing the hold of Laura's foot and trying to pull her down. "Bullying isn't nice," said Laura. Just then, Caramel came whizzing down the slide and knocked everyone down. "Ah!" Everyone screamed. "What kept you?" asked Caramel. "It's Tim and Tam," replied Laura. When they reached the bottom, Laura and Caramel walked very fast, but didn't run because running wasn't allowed at the pool. They climbed up the ladder to the diving board. Tim and Tam quickly followed. "How are we going to get down?" asked Laura. "I don't like diving." "We'll help you," sneered Tamara and pushed them off. Ah! Tim and Tam followed, making their bodies very straight and very aerodynamic. "Hold my hand," said Caramel. Caramel stretched her wings and she grabbed onto the monkey bars as they fell. Tim and Tam swam towards them as they helplessly dangled above the water. Caramel swung herself up and helped Laura. Tim and Tam circled them like hungry cats ready to catch a chicken and have them for dinner, jumping up, trying to pull them down. "You're trapped," said Tamara. "You won't escape because we're very good swimmers." "I won first prize in a swimming competition," said Tim. "That's because there was only you in the race," said Tamara back. "No, it wasn't," said Tim. "You're lying," said Tamara. "No, you are," replied Tim. While Tim and Tam were bickering over the swimming race, something yellow and grey with an orange spot on its cheek came swooping down. "Cookie!" said Caramel in delight. Their pet cockatiel chirped in response. She came to rescue them. Laura and Caramel sat on the swing that was grasped in Cookie's claws. "Take us home, please," said Laura. Cookie chirped back. "They're escaping," said Tamara angrily. "You were supposed to watch them." "No, you were," replied Tim. "We'll be back," said Tamara. "And that time, we'll get you." Tim and Tam watched as Laura and Caramel escaped again. When they got home, they were utterly exhausted. Laura looked sad. "It's all right, Laura," said Caramel softly. "They ruined our fun day," said Laura. "I know," said Caramel. "Let's go for dinner at Lake Melon's restaurant that has 3 Michelin star rating." "Yes," replied Laura. So at 7 o'clock, Laura and Caramel packed their bags and got into some nice clothes to go to the restaurant. "Chirp!" chirped Cookie the cockatiel. "Do you want some food?" asked Caramel. The cheery bird chirped in reply. Laura poured out some grain mix for Cookie to enjoy as a treat. Then Laura and Caramel headed to the car to go to Lake Melon's restaurant. At the front door, a waiter came forward and gave them their menus. "Here's Lake Melon's restaurant menu," said the waiter. Laura and Caramel looked at the fancy red menu. "What would you like?" asked Caramel. "I really love everything, so you can choose." "I really like the meat pie, chips and gravy," replied Laura. "What do you reckon?" "Yeah, I agree," said Caramel. "For dessert, I want ice cream Saturday," replied Laura. "Waiter!" A waiter in a red uniform came over. "Yes, Mars," replied the waiter. "We would like 2 meat pies with chips and gravy and 2 ice cream Saturdays," ordered Caramel. "We'll get these as soon as possible," replied the waiter before heading off. They stepped in. "Wow!" said Laura. "The room's so warm." "I know, right?" replied Caramel. Laura and Caramel found a seat at the back of the restaurant with a nice vase of violets. Laura and Caramel took a seat. "I'm a bit thirsty," said Laura. "I'm just going to order some strawberry lemonade." "Okay," said Caramel. "Here's the cash to pay for everything." Laura took the cash and headed over to the high counter made of mahogany. "Can we have 2 strawberry lemonades?" asked Laura. "What table?" replied the counter server. "Table 7, she replied. "Here's the money to pay for our food and drinks." The waiter took it and put it in the petty cash tin. Laura headed back over to the table 7 and took a seat. "This is nice," said Caramel. "Yeah," replied Laura. "I'm glad we went here." Just then, the waiter came back carrying 2 glasses of strawberry lemonade. "Here's your drink," said the waiter in a posh tone and then walked off. Laura and Caramel took a sip of their fizzy pink drinks. "Mmm," they said. "The lemonade is super fizzy and super sweet," exclaimed Laura, taking another sip. "This has got to be the best lemonade I've ever had." "Well, this is the best restaurant in the world," replied Caramel. "Luckily, it's in Lake Melon." "So that's why they have a whole watermelon menu," said Laura. "Did you know that Lake Melon has been rated the best suburb in the world too?" said Caramel. "So that's why there's the best shops, bakeries, coffee shops and restaurants." "Wow!" said Laura. "Look! They've also made the lemons pink." Laura pointed to the pink lemon slices on the cups. Then their meat pies, chips and gravy came out. The waiter placed the food down and left. Laura bit into her steaming hot pie. "Just the right temperature," said Laura. "The chips are so crunchy on the outside and soft in the inside, and the gravy is just the right saltiness, said Caramel. Laura and Caramel ate their tender meat pies, chips and gravy. Then lastly, their ice cream Saturdays came out. The ice cream Saturday had 4 scoops of ice cream, 1 scoop of mint, 1 scoop of strawberry, 1 scoop of chocolate, and 1 scoop of creamy French vanilla, topped with chocolate and caramel sauce, flaked chocolate and wafers. "Is this real?" said Laura. "It's so big! I should have only really ordered 1. Don't forget, we need to eat this really quickly or it will melt and it'll be like a really flavoured weird milkshake," replied Caramel. "It's a warm room, remember?" Caramel grabbed the spoon and scooped some creamy ice cream into her mouth. "It's so creamy," said Laura. "I've never had ice cream so creamy before." "I really like the strawberry and mint ice cream," said Caramel. "They're my favourites." "Mine is the chocolate and vanilla, so classic," replied Laura. "I really love the ice cream," said Caramel, "especially when it's really creamy." "Same," replied Laura, "but marshmallows is still my favourite dessert though." "Mine too," replied Caramel. "Hey, we have marshmallows!" Caramel opened the sweet marshmallows and stuck them on the ice cream Saturday. "Wow!" exclaimed Laura. "I love marshmallows!" After a while, Caramel said, "I'm getting a bit full." "Me too," replied Laura. Laura and Caramel were about to leave when the door slammed open. 2 chickens with mean grins stood at the doorway. "Hide!" said Laura and dragged Caramel under a table. "Has anyone seen Laura and Caramel?" asked the 2 chickens. "Tim and Tam," whispered Laura. "They're probably looking for us," said Caramel. Tam walked over to the table where they were hiding under. She picked up a yellow and caramel-coloured feather from the table. "Looks like Laura and Caramel sat at this table," exclaimed Tamara silkily. "I think they're still in this restaurant." "How does she know?" whispered Laura. "How can you be sure?" asked Tim. Tamara pointed to the unmelted bowl of ice cream Saturday. "The ice cream hasn't melted yet," said Tamara triumphantly. "Oh no," whispered Caramel. "They know we're still in here." Come out wherever you are," said Tamara. "Yeah, you couldn't have gone far," sneered Tim. "I'm gonna teach them a lesson," whispered Caramel. "No!" said Laura a little too loudly. Tamara's head snapped quickly back to the table with the ice cream Saturdays on it. "I think I've heard something," said Tamara. "We've caught them," said Tim. Tamara and Tim grabbed the tablecloth and whipped it upwards. Laura and Camel's eyes met 2 pairs of triumphant eyes. "We've found you," sneered Tim. "Also trapped," added in Tamara. "I'm gonna teach you a lesson," said Caramel angrily. "Like what? Teach us how to do maths?" "No," replied Caramel. "I'm gonna blow you away." "Like what?" said Tim. "Dance?" "No, like this," said Caramel and flapped her wings as fast as she could. She pinned Tim and Tam to the restaurant wall. Then she stopped and let them fall to the ground. "You're going to pay," said Tamara and Tim, and flapped their wings and pinned Caramel to the wall of the restaurant. Everyone was now staring at what's happening. "Stop!" said Laura strongly and firmly. Tim and Tam stopped flapping their wings and looked at Laura. "What are you gonna do?" said Tamara. "I'm here to tell you to stop doing this to my friend Caramel and everyone else, you bully," said Laura. "We don't like it." "Well, no one complains," sneered Tam. "That's because everyone fears you," said Laura. "Besides, this way we have loads of friends," said Tim. "They're not your friends. You do what they want them to do because they're scared that if they don't listen, you bully them," said Laura. "Really?" said Tim, sounding surprised. "Bullying is not a nice thing," said the chickens who were watching them. "We don't like it." "I have no friends," said Tim, sounding sad. "Tim," said Laura, "you don't have to be this way." "I don't," said Tim. "I won't have any friends then." "Chickens will be friends with chickens who are nice and care for others," said Caramel. "I'm so sorry," said Tim. "I never knew how much bullying is not nice." "We forgive you, Tim," said the crowd. "Tim," said Tamara, "I'm your friend. Stay with me and I'll always be your best friend." "No," said Tim, "you're not my friend either. You were the one who forced me to be your friend, so I can do everything for you. You didn't want to be my friend because you were nice." Tim turned away from Tamara. "I'm sorry for everything I did and everything I've ever done to you," said Tim. "From now on I'll be known as Nice Rooster Tim." A big grin spread across Tim's beak. The crowd cheered. Tamara stormed out the room. "Laura and Caramel," said Tim, "I have a little bit of a problem." "What is it?" asked Caramel. "I don't have anywhere to live because I used to live at Tamara's house," said Tim. "Don't worry," replied Laura. "You can live in our house and become the best friends forever. But one rule, never bully anyone." "I promise," said Tim. "Yay!" said Laura. "Let's go home and eat marshmallows." "I love marshmallows," replied Tim happily. "Thank you for stopping me being a bully. I just realized that bullying is a very mean thing to do." "That's what true friends are for," replied Laura. "I've got some chocolate to share," said Tim. Tim broke the chocolate into 3 and shared it. "Thank you, Tim," said Laura and Caramel. The 3 walked out the restaurant, laughing and eating chocolate into the mysterious grey fog. Who knows what their destiny is? This audiobook was made by Aurora Wilson Royle. I hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye! Until the next.